Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Finally, I can actually make a solo video on the Newcastle United women's team. I've been waiting for that opportunity or that moment, shall we say, where I can properly talk about the team in the video. And here we are. Now, personally for me, I think this is the biggest thing that's going to ever happen to the women's team. Obviously for the players and the staff members, that game at St James's Park will be a life-changing moment for them. But in general, I think for the longevity of the women's team, this is the biggest thing that can possibly happen. Newcastle United now officially own the women's team. I can't get over how huge that is. Now, previously the women's team was actually owned by the Newcastle Foundation, which is, let's face it, a charity. They've done an amazing job with the women's team. They've done what they could, but there's only so much that a charity can do for the team. And going forward, Amanda Staveley has said in an interview in the past that she wants Champions League football for the women's team by 2027. Now, the team is currently in the 4th tier of English football. Their season starts down today in Liverpool, and I've said it before, I will attend every single Newcastle United women's game this season, home and away, that doesn't conflict with the main team. Now, unfortunately, because they play on pretty much every Sunday, at times it is going to conflict with Newcastle United. I can't help that, it's just how it is. But I promise you, every single time where they play on a day that Newcastle United doesn't play, I will be there. So yeah, that's my promise to you guys. Now, a bit of a shameless plug by myself. I have actually nominated myself to be the best content creator in women's football in the UK. So you can get down there in the description or the pinned comment and vote for me. I highly appreciate it. But sorry for the shameless plug. Back in topic now though. This takeover, I would class it as a takeover, is massive for women's football and for Newcastle United, because this allows the team to be able to completely restructure itself. Now, in the past, we know with the previous owner, I really need to say, he couldn't care less about the main team, never mind the women's team. 2016 was the year where the women's team in Newcastle officially joined Newcastle United and became one. Never once in those 5 years after did the owner visit him. He never once watched him play. He never provided anything for him. Now, here's a shocker for you. So training sessions. The women's team, they had to buy their own kits. They had to bring their own footballs. They weren't provided anything by the club. They had to get their own stuff in. The foundation did the best as could, but again, it's a charity. They can only do so much. I mean, there's no other way of putting it. The team was neglected by Newcastle United, and that's nobody's fault but the man at the top, the man that is now gone. They had to get their own footballs. They go to the training sessions for Newcastle United. It's unbelievable, man. Some of the stories you will hear about the women's team in the past, it's a disgrace. It is so sexist. It is so biased, honestly. It just makes me sick. But with Amanda Staveley now, I know some people on social media are going to go out and go, you know what, she's only doing this to make herself look good. That is not true though. She is a massive fan of women's football. She really does care about the team. She has visited the women's team on multiple occasions now at games. She's seen the team directly multiple times. Some of the things she said to the players, now obviously I can't say that stuff on camera, but it's huge. It is really big. She really does care about the team. Another thing as well in the past, you would have seen this on some articles on social media. It's been said that the players will be paid as professionals. That's true. That is very true. And in the past, again, no comment on the past, but trust me, it was bad. A huge problem that Becky and previous managers in the past have had with the Newcastle women's team is one, being able to motivate the team. Because let's face it, for example, if you're working at a job and you're getting pay you're not happy with, are you going to play well, are you going to perform well? No, you're not. It's a simple logic. And not only that, so the majority of North East women's teams have multiple squads. You can't say have one team. So a huge problem there being is that if you are between the age of 16 to 18 and you're a good player but you're not quite good enough yet to get into the team, you either get into the team or you straight up just don't join the club at all. Now, the problem there being is that those players would join another team in the North East where they had multiple teams and they'd be able to progress themselves through the ranks. Newcastle United didn't have a rank system, so essentially players that aren't good enough but are decent and have potential, they couldn't play for the club because they just weren't able to get into the team. So as a result, Newcastle lost all of the good up-and-coming players, and it's just, they shot themselves in the foot, and it was down again to the owner in the past. They just neglected the team. But now, since Newcastle have now got a reserve team, so that's essentially where all the up-and-coming players will play for them. The ones that are good enough will progress into the main team, and for the ones that aren't good enough, they'll eventually be probably sent to a different club. So yeah, it's an actual progression system now where players over time can become better at the football club and can have long-term futures at the club. We never had that in the past, and that's, again, just something you want to see. Now, on to you guys, the Newcastle United fans. What has changed with Newcastle fans going forward for the women's team? Well, they actually play their first game of the season next week at Kingston Park. Now, I don't know exactly what the venue's going forward. I think they will switch quite a bit between Kingston Park, St James's Park, and another venue. I don't think it'll be a stadium venue every single game, because I just don't think there's any venues available to do that. So expect to bounce around quite a bit, but the fact is the club is actively trying to get more stadium venues to get more fans in and encourage more fans to attend the women's game. 22,134, that was how many fans had attended Newcastle versus Alnwick Town last season at St James's Park. Record breaking, that is one of the biggest attendances in women's history in the UK. And remember, fourth tier women's football, just a reminder there. So the support there is definitely there from the fans. Now it's just about improving that support more. When there's more stadium events, more fans will attend. It's just natural. People would rather sit down in the stadium than just stand next to the field. It's just, I mean, again, it's just a bit of logic, really. Now, it's not easy to do from the club, obviously. Again, it's going to be quite hard to book Kingston Park when they want to get certain matches in. And for next match, their first game as well, Newcastle play Wolves away at the exact same time. So, I mean, I'm not sure why they would have picked that one, to be honest. But listen, if the opportunity is there, then take it. And on top of that, the Newcastle women's team have a new front-of-shirt partnership. I mean, wow, this club is really changing now. In the long run, I'm not too sure how this is going to work. But yeah, again, it is really good to see. And on a personal level, I already kind of knew this takeover was going to happen in advance because, well, for the media stuff, for example, so I've got a really good relationship with a lot of the staff members. I know quite a lot of the players before they even played for Newcastle United, so I've got a good relationship essentially. So for media stuff, when I want to go down and do videos of the women's team, I've got to pretty much contact the media team at the women's team. So there's actually 2 different media teams at the club. But pretty much when I contacted the media team a couple of weeks ago, they passed me on to the actual Newcastle United media team. So I knew straight away that, you know, this takeover was happening. So yeah, that was a bit of a dead giveaway. But next season onwards, essentially I actually spoke to the club directly. I think it was 2 days ago now. And they said straight up that I can interview the players after matches, interview staff members. So that's going to be huge. That was something I was kind of wanting to do. I watched back my women's vlogs from last season. And I did like them, but I felt like I could have done more. I think it's quite important to fans to understand how staff members and players feel after games, how they just feel about fan support in general, because I think if people understood the women's team more, they would be more inclined to go to games. And that's kind of what I want to get out of them. I just want more people to support the team. I feel like I can do it without trying to big myself up. I feel like I can get more people going to games and just supporting the team, which is going to benefit us. Even if you don't like women's football, when Newcastle United women's team win the Champions League, that actually benefits Newcastle United's financial fair play. So it benefits the main team. So even if you don't like women's football, the women's football benefits the actual first team itself. So you should support the team regardless of what you think about women's football. Now, for me, I will support the team every single match, as I said before. I really do care about the players, the staff members. I want to see them do well. I'm sure it's the same for all the other fans as well, but anyway, that's it from me, guys. I've been waiting for an opportunity where I can actually talk about the women's team in the video. There it is there. The official takeover completed. Newcastle United now own everything to do with the women's team. And yeah, that for me is the biggest thing that will ever happen to this club. But yeah, that's it though. Take care. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you this season with the women's team.